So is inflation really dead? Let's ask Kevin Hassett, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors and author of The Drift, Stopping America's Slide to Socialism. Kevin, good to see you. I want to start by pulling up a chart on this because I think this is sort of fascinating. Here's a chart of how the past decade's inflation curve almost perfectly shadows the path of inflation from 1966 to 1976, before, of course, as you can see, it accelerated very significantly in the late 70s. I like 70s music, Kevin. I hate 70s inflation, and I am very nervous that we're going to see the same kind of curve uptick that we saw there. What do you think?
You know, I think that not only are we going to see something like that absent big fiscal policy changes, because, as you know, deficits cause inflation, and we've got the biggest deficits ever, just about. But the other thing is that inflation, when you think back to the 70s, it's not like it was 10% every year. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. And the point I was going to make is that right now we're about to see inflation lift up again, because third quarter GDP is growing about 5%, according to the Atlanta Fed. And with 5% inflation and the Fed printing money and Congress spending like drunken sailors, the inflation's going back up. There is a question of how farther it will go, and I think that'll depend both on whether we can get a little bit of fiscal restraint and whether the Fed lifts rates more. But I think the interest rate's got to go to 6 or 7, the federal funds rate, and they're way short of the target right now. Imagine the GDP growth rate in the third quarter might well be above the federal funds rate. Right, and that's not a recipe for lower inflation.
Well, that GDP number is an interesting one. I'd like to add quickly. Do you buy that number? I mean, like, are you putting eggs in that basket?
Yeah, I actually do buy the number. One of the things is that GDP is just added up from data that we can see. And if you take the data that we can see, add it up, you get a number that's really high. And I think that the story is kind of a special one that doesn't have anything really to do with Bidenomics. What's going on is that multinationals, both in the U.S. and abroad, are fleeing China and onshoring productive capacity here into the U.S. And that means that there's kind of a mini investment boom that's really apparent in the data. And so I know that the typical listener is thinking, geez, I'm worse off. Inflation is going up faster than my wage, and I can't buy steak anymore and all that kind of stuff. But the reason GDP is strong is really that China's economy is falling apart and everybody's moving their activity back here in the third quarter.
You mentioned interest rates earlier. I want to talk about that a little bit more. This is Jerome Powell, his latest comments on rates. Listen to this.
Risk management considerations are critical. At upcoming meetings, we will assess our progress based on the totality of the data and the evolving outlook and risks. Based on this assessment, we will proceed carefully as we decide whether to tighten further or instead to hold the policy rate constant and await further data.
All right, now with that language, you got to do your interpretation and tea leaf reading and all this stuff. But you talked about rates needing to go higher. I listened to him, and I think this is a guy who's prepared to keep rates higher, at least for a fairly long time. Is that what you're reading from him?
No, I think that was actually a little bit harsher than that. And it's because the data are so strong. Right now, financial markets still think the Fed is going to do exactly what you said. The financial markets 100% agree with you. But I think that it's kind of one of those things where if you basically are committed to marry somebody and then they say you're still committed, and then you say, well, risk management is something that I'm monitoring closely, then basically you're backing away. And so what happened is the Fed basically signaled that they weren't going to lift rates again, and now the data are making it so that that's obviously a policy error. And the way you transition from a strong statement that you have to back away from is you say, well, I'm going to pay attention to risk management and the news that ensues. But I think with a 5% GDP number, they're going to have to hike rates again at the next meeting, probably.
So you think at least one more rate hike this year and then into 2024?
I honestly think it's going to be more than that. I think that the federal funds rate has to go up, to around 6 or something, given that inflation is not under control. And, you know, I think that I 100% agree that chart that you showed is something that Larry Summers has been showing around. And those of us who are old enough to have, like, actually kind of experienced the 70s and the aftershock of the 70s and the 80s, you know, we know that the problem in the 70s, the fundamental problem that we teach graduate students, was that the Fed kept declaring victory too early.
Yep, and that,
right, and so it declared victory too early, and then
Kevin,
it took off again.
we got to run, Kevin. Thank you so much, sir.